Welcome to the 2023 Washington DMV practice test. We'll go over 60 different practice questions, along with their explained answers to steer you onto the right path to success. But before we get moving, be sure to roll over those like and subscribe buttons. This way, you'll always be up to speed on content like this from DMV Geek. Now, let's shift into first gear with the first question.
Question 1. You have parked next to a curb, facing uphill. Which way should you point your front wheels? A. Toward the curb. B. Away from the curb. C. Toward the right. D. Parallel to the curb. The answer is B. When you parallel park facing uphill next to a curb, you should point your wheels away from the curb and then roll back slightly so that the rear part of the curbside front wheel rests against the curb. If your brakes fail, the curb will block your car from rolling backward. Make sure you still set your parking brake and leave your car in the correct gear. Park for an automatic transmission or first gear for maximum forward torque with a manual transmission. Question 2. Which of the following will help an intoxicated person sober up? A. A cold shower. B. Exercise. C. Coffee. D. None of the above. The answer is D. Alcohol is processed by the liver at a steady rate of about 1 standard drink per hour. This means it takes approximately an hour for the liver to break down one drink, such as 1.5 ounces of hard liquor, 5 ounces of wine, or 12 ounces of beer. Coffee, exercise, or cold showers cannot speed up this process. The only solution is to wait until the alcohol has been fully metabolized by the liver. Question 3. How long does it take for alcohol to be absorbed directly into the bloodstream? A. 5 to 10 minutes. B. 2 to 3 hours. C. 1 to 2 hours. D. 20 to 40 minutes. The answer is D. If enough alcohol is consumed, the results can progress to drowsiness, sleep, unconsciousness, and, eventually, death. Unlike most food, alcohol does not have to be digested. Once swallowed, it is absorbed directly into the bloodstream through the walls of the stomach and small intestine, usually within 20 to 40 minutes. If there is food in the stomach, this absorption process may be slowed. Question 4. Consuming how many alcoholic drinks would be enough to get you impaired and arrested? A. 4. B. 2. C. 1. D. 3. The answer is C. Just one alcoholic drink can impair a person's driving. The degree of impairment depends on such factors as the person's weight. If your driving is found to be impaired after you've consumed alcohol, you can be charged with driving under the influence, DUI. Question 5. What penalties will you face if convicted of driving under the influence of alcohol or drugs, DUI? A. A fine. B. License suspension. C. Jail. D. All of the above. The answer is D. For a first offense of DUI, the penalties include a fine of $350 to $5,000, jail time ranging from 1 to 364 days, a 90-day license suspension, and mandatory installation of an ignition interlock device, IID, in all your vehicles for at least 1 year. The EID monitors your blood alcohol content, BAC, and prevents the vehicle from starting if the BAC exceeds a set limit. If your BAC was 0.15% or higher, the penalties are even more severe. Repeat DUI offenses also lead to increased penalties. Question 6. According to the Washington Driver Guide, what percentage of all fatal traffic accidents involve driver impairment? A. 20%. B. 50%. C. 60%. D. 10%. The answer is B. According to the Washington Driver Guide, driver impairment is involved in approximately 50.1% of fatal traffic accidents. Additionally, The Centers for Disease Control and Prevention states that drunk driving accounts for about 1/3 of all traffic deaths in the United States. Question 7. What is the duration of license suspension for an intermediate license holder who commits a second traffic violation? A. 1 year. B. 6 months. C. 30 days. D. 10 days. The answer is B. If an intermediate license holder commits a second traffic violation or violates the restrictions on the license for a second time, their license will be suspended for a period of 6 months or until they reach the age of 18, whichever comes first. Question 8. What is the minimum duration of license revocation for a driver aged 13 through 17 who is convicted of possession of alcohol, a drug offense, or a firearm-related offense for a second time? A. 4 years. B. 3 years. C. 2 years. D. 1 year. The answer is C. If a driver aged 13 through 17 is convicted of possession of alcohol, a drug offense, or a firearm-related offense for a second time, their license will be revoked for a minimum of 2 years or until they reach the age of 18, whichever duration is longer. Question 9. You see an emergency vehicle with flashing lights stopped ahead. What must you do? A. Proceed with caution. B. Slow down, also move into a non-adjacent lane if possible. C. Slow down and prepare to stop. D. Move into a non-adjacent lane if possible, otherwise slow down. The answer is D. Under Washington state's move-over law, to pass an emergency vehicle, tow truck, or other roadway assistance vehicle that is stopped with its lights flashing, you must move into a non-adjacent lane if possible, leaving at least one vacant lane between you and the vehicle. If this is impossible, no other lanes in your direction, or unsafe, you must slow down until you have passed the vehicle. Note, all U.S. states now have their own move-over laws, but some of them require drivers to do different things. When traveling out of state, always check the local traffic laws. Question 10. According to Maria's law, a driver who fails to properly secure a load and causes an injury or death to another person will A. Have to pay up to $5,000 fine. B. Have to spend up to 1 year in jail. C. Be charged with gross misdemeanor. D. Have to face all of the above consequences. The answer is D. A person who causes an injury or death by failing to secure a load properly can be charged with a gross misdemeanor and can face a maximum penalty of 1 year in jail and a $5,000 fine. A driver whose unsecured items cause property damage can be charged with a misdemeanor. Question 11. In Washington state, on a highway with 3 or more lanes going in one direction, faster vehicles should use A. An acceleration lane. B. A middle lane. C. The left lane. D. The right lane. The answer is B. Where there are 3 or more lanes going in one direction, the middle lanes usually offer the smoothest flow of traffic. Washington state law reserves the left lane for passing. Slower vehicles and those turning right should use the right lane. Question 12. You see this flashing yellow X signal above your lane. What does it mean? A. This lane is only for making turns. B. Proceed with caution. C. You must move out of this lane as soon as possible. D. This lane is closed. The answer is A. Lane use control signals are special overhead signals indicating which lanes of a roadway may be used in different directions at various times. A flashing yellow X indicates that this lane can only be used to make turns. A steady yellow X warns that the lane is about to close in your direction, at which time the signal will change to a steady red X. Question 13. How far ahead should you look while driving in the city to avoid last-minute braking or sudden turns? A. 5 seconds. B. 20 seconds. C. 10 seconds. D. 15 seconds. The answer is D. To avoid last-minute braking or the need to turn suddenly, you should look well down the road. The Washington Driver Guide recommends that you look at least 15 seconds ahead of your vehicle. At 60 miles per hour on a freeway, 15 seconds is a quarter of a mile. Question 14. How much space should you allow between your vehicle and a bicycle when overtaking or passing? A. 3 feet. B. 5 feet. C. 10 feet. D. 7 feet. The answer is A. When overtaking or passing a bicycle, it is important to exercise caution and provide sufficient space. According to Washington state law, you must pass the bicycle at a safe distance to clearly avoid coming into contact with a bicyclist. The Washington Driver Guide recommends leaving at least 3 feet of space between your vehicle and the bicycle. This ensures the safety of both the cyclist and the driver by reducing the risk of collisions or accidents. Question 15. What is the first rule of a safe and legal turn? A. Reduce your speed. B. Move into the proper lane well before the turn. C. Cut off the corner while turning. D. Increase your speed. The answer is B. The first rule of a safe and legal turn is to move into the proper lane well before the turn. To turn left, move into the leftmost lane going in your direction unless signs, signals, or road markings indicate otherwise. To turn right, move into the rightmost lane unless signs, signals, or road markings indicate otherwise. Question 16. What happens to traffic fines in work zones? A. Tripled. B. Decreased. C. The same. D. Doubled. The answer is D. In work zones, traffic fines are doubled. It is important to exercise caution and follow the posted speed limits and regulations in work zones to ensure the safety of workers, motorists, and property. Recklessly endangering workers or property in a work zone could result in severe consequences, including a 60-day license suspension. Question 17. What is the minimum distance you must maintain from a fire truck when it is responding to a fire alarm? A. 300 feet. B. 500 feet. C. 200 feet. D. 400 feet. The answer is B. In Washington state, it is illegal to follow a fire truck closer than 500 feet when it is responding to a fire alarm. Also, you must not stop your vehicle within 500 feet of a stopped fire truck that is responding to a fire alarm. Question 18. In Washington state, what blood alcohol content, BAC, level can lead to an arrest for driving under the influence? A. 0.06%. B. 0.04%. C. 0.08%. D. 0.02%. The answer is C. In Washington state, if you are found to be driving with a blood alcohol content, BAC, of 0.08% or more, you can be arrested and charged with driving under the influence, DUI. If you are under 21 years of age, you can also be arrested for a BAC of 0.02% or more. Question 19. You must treat a flashing red traffic light like A. A do not enter sign. B. A yield sign. C. A merge sign. D. A stop sign. The answer is D. You must treat a flashing red signal like a stop sign. That is, you must stop before entering the intersection, yield to traffic and pedestrians, and then proceed when it is safe to do so. Question 20. On some roadways, lanes marked as transit are reserved for A. High occupancy vehicles, HOVs, only. B. Buses only. C. Trucks only. D. Bicycles only. The answer is B. On various roadways, one or more lanes may be reserved for special vehicles. Reserved lanes are marked by signs stating that the lane is reserved for special use, and they often have a white diamond posted at the side of the road or painted on the pavement surface. Transit or bus means that the lane is for bus use only. Question 21. What is an example of inattentional blindness? A. Fixing makeup while driving. B. Using a mobile device while driving. C. Eating while driving. D. All of the above. The answer is D. Distracted driving is any activity that takes a person's attention away from the primary task of driving, sometimes referred to as inattentional blindness. All distractions endanger the driver, passengers, and others who share the road, including pedestrians. Some distractions could include using a personal electronic device, eating or drinking, grooming, reading, including maps and navigation systems, watching a video while driving, etc. Question 22. In Washington state at night, what lighting should you use whenever you are following another vehicle within 300 feet? A. High beams. B. Emergency flashers. C. Low beams. D. Parking lights. The answer is C. Under Washington state law, you must dim your headlights to low beam whenever you are within 500 feet of an oncoming vehicle or within 300 feet of a vehicle you are following. High beams can blind the driver of the vehicle you are following by reflecting off the vehicle's mirrors. Question 23. If a tire suddenly goes flat or blows out, you should not A. Hold the steering wheel tightly. B. Brake hard. C. Keep the vehicle going straight. D. Slowly ease your foot off the gas pedal. The answer is B. If you experience a blowout, hold the steering wheel tightly, steer straight ahead, and slowly ease your foot off the gas pedal. Don't brake hard, you might lock the wheels and lose control. Brake lightly only after the vehicle is back under your control. Pull completely off the road at the nearest safe location. Question 24. In Washington state, which occupants of a passenger car must wear safety belts or appropriate child restraints? A. The driver, all front seat passengers, and all passengers under 18. B. The driver and passengers under 18. C. Just the driver. D. The driver and all passengers. The answer is D. Under Washington state law, all occupants of a passenger car, the driver and all passengers, must wear safety belts or appropriate child restraints. The driver is responsible for ensuring that all passengers under 16 years of age are suitably restrained. Safety belts have been proven to save lives, even in the rear seat. Question 25. To hold the steering wheel, especially in turns, you should keep A. Your left hand between 8 and 9 o'clock and your right hand between 3 and 4 o'clock. B. Your left hand between 9 and 10 o'clock and your right hand between 3 and 4 o'clock. C. Your left hand between 9 and 10 o'clock and your right hand between 5 and 6 o'clock. D. Your left hand between 10 and 11 o'clock and your right hand between 1 and 2 o'clock. The answer is A. Keeping your hands on opposite sides of the steering wheel facilitates quick turns. When driving a modern vehicle equipped with airbags, place your left hand between 8 and 9 o'clock and your right hand between 3 and 4 o'clock. If your hands are higher than that when the driver's side airbag deploys, it could shove your hands into your face or even injure your hands. This position also allows you to make turns without taking your hands off the wheel. Question 26. When parallel parking in Washington state, what is the required distance you must park within from the curb? A. 6 inches. B. 18 inches. C. 12 inches. D. 24 inches. The answer is C. Under Washington state law, when you parallel park, you must park within 12 inches of the curb. Question 27. What is the default maximum speed limit on state highways in Washington state, unless otherwise indicated by posted signs? A. 60 miles per hour. B. 40 miles per hour. C. 50 miles per hour. D. 55 miles per hour. The answer is A. In Washington state, the maximum speed limit on state highways is 60 miles per hour unless otherwise posted. The maximum speed limit on some rural interstate highways is 70 miles per hour. Question 28. You are driving on a two-lane roadway. A school bus with flashing red lights is stopped ahead. What must you do? A. Stop, no matter which direction you are traveling in. B. Stop if you are traveling in the same direction as the school bus. C. Slow to 15 miles per hour and proceed with caution. D. Proceed with caution. The answer is A. Under Washington state law, if you approach a school bus that is stopped with its red lights flashing on a two-lane road, you must stop before reaching the bus, whether it is on your side of the road, on the opposite side of the road, or at an intersection you are approaching. You must remain stopped until the flashing red lights are turned off or the bus resumes its motion. The Washington Driver Guide recommends continuing to wait until all children have safely left the roadway before you proceed. Question 29. Before you enter an intersection, you must look for A. Vehicles approaching from the left. B. Crossing pedestrians. C. Vehicles approaching from the right. D. All of the above. The answer is D. Before entering an intersection, look both left and right for approaching vehicles and crossing pedestrians. If you are stopped, look both left and right just before you start to move. Also look across the intersection to make sure that your way is clear through the intersection. Question 30. If a truck is trying to pass you, you can help the truck driver by A. Increasing your speed. B. Reducing your speed and driving in a no zone. C. Keeping to the far side of your lane and reducing your speed slightly. D. Keeping to the near side of your lane and reducing your speed slightly. The answer is C. If a truck is trying to pass you, you can help the truck driver pass by keeping to the far side of your lane and reducing your speed slightly. Never speed up when a vehicle is trying to pass you. Avoid driving in a large vehicle's no zones whenever possible. Question 31. On a road with 3 or more lanes traveling in the same direction, the leftmost lane is intended to be used A. For passing slower vehicles. B. By heavy trucks. C. By slower vehicles. D. For stopping in an emergency. The answer is A. On multi-lane roads, the leftmost lane should be used for passing slower vehicles. If you pass on the right, the other driver may have difficulty seeing you and might suddenly change lanes in front of you. Question 32. When getting ready to change lanes, you should A. Check your side view mirror. B. Check your rear view mirror. C. Quickly turn your head to check for other vehicles. D. All of the above. The answer is D. Before changing lanes, check your side and rear view mirrors for traffic approaching you from behind. Just before you begin moving into the other lane, quickly glance over your shoulder and check for any vehicles that may be in your blind spot. Question 33. If you are driving in another driver's blind spot, you should A. Move forward or drop back so the other driver can see you. B. Keep a steady pace. C. Stay in the driver's blind spot. D. Honk to let them know you are there. The answer is A. Do not drive in someone else's blind spot. Move forward or drop back so that the other driver can see you. Question 34. When driving near a blind pedestrian who is carrying a white cane or using a guide dog, you should A. Slow down and be prepared to stop. B. Take the right of way. C. Proceed normally. D. Drive away quickly. The answer is A. When driving near a blind pedestrian who is carrying a white cane or walking with a guide dog, you must slow down, yield the right of way, and then proceed with caution. Be prepared to stop your vehicle in order to prevent injury or danger to the pedestrian. Question 35. You are driving when it starts to sleet or snow. You should A. Keep your windshield and mirrors clear. B. Allow additional distance between your vehicle and the vehicles that you are following. C. Approach all vehicles with caution. D. All of the above. The answer is D. In snowy weather, keep your windshield and mirrors clear. Increase your following distance when driving in wet and cold weather because a slippery road surface will increase the distance needed for your vehicle to stop. Question 36. Using a handheld cell phone to make a phone call while driving. A. Is safer than using a hands-free cell phone. B. May only be done by teenage drivers. C. Is illegal. D. Is recommended. The answer is C. It is against the law in Washington state to use a handheld cell phone while driving. This law is not intended to encourage hands-free cell phone use. If a driver must talk on the phone, it is recommended that they leave the roadway and make the phone call after their vehicle is safely stopped. Question 37. According to the child restraint law, children who are under the age of 8 and shorter than a certain height must be seated in an approved safety restraint system. What is the specified height requirement? A. 5 feet, 5 inches. B. 5 feet. C. 4 feet, 11 inches. D. 4 feet, 9 inches. The answer is D. Washington's child restraint law requires children who are under the age of 8 and shorter than 4 feet, 9 inches tall to be fastened into a child safety restraint when being transported in a motor vehicle. They should not be allowed to use a seat belt until they can safely do so. Question 38. If you refuse to take a test determining your blood alcohol content, BAC, you will lose your driver license for A. 90 days. B. 6 months. C. At least 1 year. D. At least 2 years. The answer is C. Washington state has an implied consent law, which means that by operating a motor vehicle in the state, you have given your consent to take a breath test determining your blood alcohol content, BAC. You will lose your license for at least 1 year if you refuse to take such a test. Question 39. The correct way to use a freeway exit ramp is to A. Slow down before entering the exit ramp. B. Slow down once moving onto the exit ramp. C. Keep your speed constant once in the exit ramp. D. Pass slower traffic in the exit ramp. The answer is B. When using a freeway exit ramp, do not slow down until you move onto the exit ramp. Question 40. Blood alcohol content, BAC, depends on each of the following, except A. Your body weight. B. How much you drink. C. How much time passes between drinks. D. How physically fit you are. The answer is D. Your blood alcohol content, BAC, depends on how much alcohol you drink, how much time passes between drinks, and your weight. It is not affected by the type of alcoholic beverages you drink, your level of physical fitness, or how well you can hold your liquor. Question 41. When entering traffic from a private driveway, A. You must yield to vehicles already on the main road. B. You have the right of way over other traffic. C. Enter only if there is a traffic light. D. Have someone stop the traffic on the road you're entering. The answer is A. Drivers entering a road from a driveway, alley, parking lot, or roadside must yield to vehicles already on the main road. Question 42. You are driving on a busy street and your vehicle's accelerator sticks open. You should A. Blow your horn. B. Slam on your brakes. C. Turn on your four-way flashers. D. Turn off your ignition, taking care not to engage the steering wheel locking mechanism. The answer is D. If your vehicle's accelerator sticks open, your vehicle will continue to maintain its speed or accelerate, even if you remove your foot from the gas pedal. Turn off the ignition, using care to move the ignition switch only far enough to stop the engine and not engage the steering wheel locking mechanism. Apply your brakes and move off the road to a safe area. Question 43. To check your blind spot when changing lanes to the left, you should glance A. Over your right shoulder. B. At your side mirror. C. Over your left shoulder. D. At your rear view mirror. The answer is C. To check your blind spot, glance over your shoulder in the direction that you want to move. Question 44. If you are driving on the interstate and pass your exit, you should A. Quickly cut across traffic to make your turn. B. Make a U-turn to go back to the exit. C. Continue driving and use the next exit. D. Put your vehicle in reverse to go back to the exit. The answer is C. Don't make a last-minute turn into an exit. If you pass your exit, you must go to the next one. Question 45. If a collision involves a parked vehicle, you need to A. Stay at the scene until the owner returns. B. Try to find the owner of the vehicle, or leave a note that tells the owner how to reach you and the time and date of the collision. C. Leave your name and address with the nearest county courthouse. D. Call a tow truck and have the vehicle towed away. The answer is B. If involved in a collision with a parked vehicle, you must try to locate the owner. If you cannot find the owner, leave a note in a visible place with information on how the owner can reach you and the date and time of the collision. Question 46. When can you drive using only your parking lights? A. 30 minutes after sunset or 30 minutes before sunrise. B. Under no circumstances. C. On foggy days when visibility is low. D. On rainy days when visibility is low. The answer is B. In Washington state, it is not permitted to drive using only parking lights under any circumstances. Parking lights are designed to provide limited visibility for parked or stationary vehicles, primarily for the purpose of indicating their presence to other drivers. They are not intended to be used as the primary source of illumination while driving. Question 47. To avoid accidents, drivers should communicate with each other by A. Signaling when changing lane/direction, slowing down or stopping. B. Using their horns in emergencies and when really necessary. C. Using emergency flashers/flares/signs as needed. D. All of the above. The answer is D. Crashes often happen because one driver does something that another driver does not expect. To help avoid crashes, communicate with drivers on the road. Let others know where you are and what you plan to do by signaling your intentions with the help of your turn signals, emergency flashers, brake lights and your horn. Question 48. As you near an intersection, the traffic light changes from green to yellow. Your best action would be to A. Speed up to beat the red light. B. Apply the brakes sharply to stop. C. Be prepared to stop in the center of the intersection. D. Be prepared to stop before the intersection. The answer is D. A yellow signal light means caution. The red signal is about to appear. When you see the yellow light, stop if you can do so safely. If you cannot stop safely, cross the intersection cautiously. Question 49. When the road is marked with a solid yellow line and a broken yellow line on your side, you may pass only A. In an emergency. B. If you are on an expressway. C. If traffic is clear. D. At an intersection. The answer is C. A solid yellow line marks the center of a road used for two-way traffic. Two solid yellow lines indicate no passing. Broken yellow lines indicate that you may pass if the broken line is next to your driving lane. However, you must still make sure that your maneuver is safe and you won't endanger yourself and other road users. Question 50. Which of the following might cause other drivers not to see you? A. Intersections or driveways blocked by trees, vehicles or buildings. B. Vehicle windows covered with frost, snow or ice or sudden glare. C. Other drivers are backing out of a driveway or parking spot. D. All of the above. The answer is D. Trees, bushes, buildings, or parked cars at intersections can block the view to the side. Frost, snow or glare significantly reduce visibility and the driver's field of vision is extremely limited when the driver is backing up. Always account for these factors and adjust for them. For example, on a frosty morning, you can turn your headlights on. This will make you more visible to drivers who have done a poor job on cleaning their windscreen. Question 51. When driving under icy or snowy conditions, which driving technique will help drivers avoid crashes? A. Add extra weight to their vehicles to improve traction. B. Get off the highways as quickly as possible. C. Engage the four-wheel drive on their vehicles. D. Reduce their speed and increase their following distance. The answer is D. Reduce your speed when roads are snow-covered or icy. Doing this and increasing your following distance are the most important techniques for avoiding crashes under snowy or icy conditions. Question 52. If another driver cuts in front of you, it would be better if you A. Take your foot off the gas. B. Brake suddenly. C. Accelerate to avoid being cut off. D. Honk your horn. The answer is A. If you follow too closely and another driver cuts in front of you, just take your foot off the gas. This gives you space between your vehicle and the other driver, without having to slam on your brakes or swerve into another lane. Question 53. When you enter a freeway, you should check traffic by using A. The inside and outside mirrors only. B. Only your rearview mirrors. C. All mirrors and turning your head. D. Only your left side view mirror. The answer is C. Check your mirrors and look over your shoulder to make sure you are not getting in the way of vehicles in the lane you want to enter. Leave 3 seconds of space between you and the vehicle ahead of you. Make sure you can stop safely, if necessary. Question 54. Which of these is recommended for driving at night on a dimly lit street? A. Keep instrument lights bright to be more visible to other drivers. B. Briefly look at oncoming headlights so you will not be blinded. C. Drive slowly enough to stop within the area lit by your headlights. D. Always use high beam headlights. The answer is C. Drive more slowly at night because you cannot see as far ahead and you will have less time to stop for a hazard. Make sure you can stop within the distance lighted by your headlights. Question 55. After passing a car, it is safe to return to your driving lane when A. You signal for 4 seconds with your intention to return to your lane. B. The driver you just passed signals you to return to your lane. C. You see the headlights of the car you just passed in your rearview mirror. D. You see the headlights of the car you just passed in your side view mirror. The answer is C. One way to make sure you are not creating a hazard for the driver you just passed is to look for the vehicle in your inside rear view mirror. When you can see both headlights in your rear view mirror, you have enough room to return to your driving lane. Do not count on having enough time to pass several vehicles at once or that other drivers will make room for you. Question 56. Before changing lanes in traffic, you need to A. Only check your rear view mirror. B. Use arm signals. C. Look over your shoulder to be sure the lane you want to use is clear. D. Signal so that you have the right of way. The answer is C. Before changing lanes, look into your rear view mirror for nearby vehicles and also over your shoulder to check for blind spots. Blind spots can hide a motorcyclist, a vehicle or a bicyclist. Watch for things about to happen, like a ball rolling into the street or a vehicle door opening. Question 57. If you have had 3 beers in the past hour, about how long will it take for all the alcohol to leave your bloodstream? A. 1 hour. B. 2 hours. C. 3 hours. D. 4 hours. The answer is C. It takes about 3 hours to cancel the intoxicating effect of 3 beers. Question 58. When parking downhill and the curb is absent, your front wheels must be turned. A. Towards the road. B. Parallel to the road. C. Towards the side of the road. D. In the direction of traffic. The answer is C. When parking a vehicle facing downhill on a street with or without a curb, the handbrake should be set and the vehicle's wheels should be turned toward the curb. The vehicle should be in park or, with a manual transmission, in reverse. Question 59. A green arrow pointing to the left on a traffic light means you may A. Turn left or continue going straight. B. Turn in that direction only after you stop. C. Make a protected turn in that direction. D. Make a turn even if it may cause an accident, since you have the right of way. The answer is C. A green arrow means go. You must turn in the direction the arrow is pointing after you yield to any vehicle, bicyclist, or pedestrian still in the intersection. The green arrow allows you to make a protected turn. Oncoming vehicles, bicyclists, and pedestrians are stopped by a red light as long as the green arrow is lighted. Question 60. On a two-way highway, you are allowed to drive on the left half of the roadway when A. There is a double yellow center line. B. There is a solid line on your side of the center line. C. It is safe to pass, and passing is allowed. D. You are approaching a corner at which you intend to turn left. The answer is C. On a two-lane highway, you are allowed to drive on the left half of the roadway when it is safe to pass and passing is allowed. If the road has 4 or more lanes with two-way traffic, drive in the right lanes except when overtaking and passing.
We hope you found our 2023 Washington DMV practice test useful. If you did, remember to smash that like button. And if you're looking for more practice tests, check out these other videos and subscribe to our channel to see our latest tests.